What's going on, fellas?
What's up, boys?
What's up?
How are y'all?
Can't complain. Another day in paradise.
Yeah, had to go back to your old stomping grounds, huh?
Yeah,
Go, go change a tire real quick.
yeah, yeah. I'm all sore now.
Hey, what kind of vehicle did you say it was again?
A mirage.
Did uh did you have to use a jack or did you just hold it up with one hand?
I had my 6-year-old son just hold it up real quick. I changed it out.
You
Y'all
laid your
lifted it
son
up
into the
and
car.
he's just holding it up like this, changing out the tire, right?
Dude, I had him do it himself too. I had him hold up the car and change out the tire.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
It's like a
Start 'em
Tonka
young,
truck.
baby.
Oh man, nah, but it was real. It took me longer getting over there and getting back and changing out that dang tire.
That's Texas City's for you.
Yeah, we chat just so y'all know, in Texas we measure distances and how long it takes, not miles.
Yeah.
So
Bro, it takes
how far
so
did you have to
long.
go?
From my house, 30 minutes to and then 30 minutes back. So an
Damn.
That
hour
sucks,
total.
doesn't it?
An hour total.
That's mm-hmm. Bro, this state is so big, it's crazy.
So don't ask me the miles, chat, okay? Because like I said, measuring
Yeah.
time.
We
Yeah, we don't
measuring
measure
time.
miles, we're measuring time. Cause it
But
be like that.
It'd be like that.
Anyways.
It could be 5 miles away. It's still gonna take 30 minutes sometimes.
yep.
Well, speaking to the chat, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of Both Ends of the Table. We're gonna start you off tonight with Sunday Night Football, where the Steelers dropped their second straight, falling 35-25 to the Packers. Pittsburgh sits at 4-3, still holding the top spot in the AFC North, but just barely. They failed to separate from the Bengals without Joe Burrow and the Ravens squad missing Lamar Jackson. And now it doesn't get any easier. Rodgers and the Steelers are staring at a back-to-back matchup with the Colts and the Chargers. So, Cisco, I'll start with you. How much faith do you have in Rodgers to lead this team through the second half of the season and keep them in the top spot of their division?
Well, I don't really think it's Rodgers, to be honest with you. I think it's more so their defense. Not to question Rodgers on his leadership. I think the defense is kind of what's letting up a little bit.
Oh,
So
okay. I see what you're saying.
yeah, so it's I think the defense needs to step it up, and I think TJ Watt needs to rally up that defense and get them going. Granted, I know there's some old heads in there like Ramsey, which I know he's probably still that guy, but as we know, we saw him pull a hamstring doing that.
But he's
Doing
back
that
in the
thing.
lineup again
No,
already.
no, I know, but yeah, but you have some older people in there, right? And you also have Darius Slay, where he's not what he used to be, right? But I think that defense needs to step it up to get to the second half of the season. Which I mean, with their age too, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that, but we'll see coming weeks because they're the Colts and the Chargers stretch. That's going to be a tough one for them. I mean, especially on that defensive side, for
Right.
sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because if you look at that division right now, it's wide open. So who
Yeah,
knows? You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, I don't really see it to be Rogers' fault in that.
Hmm.
Because I think they could get it rolling. But also like Johnny Smith, where I've seen him drop some crucial passes. Um, it's like DK Metcalf is like in his own little world sometimes, where he's over there drawing flags for whatever reason, you know. So it's
Yeah.
like if they could all just rally together and be on the same page, I think they'll be fine. But I don't know if that'll happen.
Well, Luke, what do you think? Do you think it's more like I mean, you got to realize that this is Rogers' first season with the Steelers, right? And I
Yeah.
believe it's his first time ever working with his offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. So it's
Yeah.
like, do you think that because I mean, at times they do show to kind of have some miscommunications,
Yeah.
Hmm.
on the offensive side of the football. They don't always seem to be clicking. So, do you think that that's more from like Rogers still kind of more or less learning the play calls, um, or do you think that it is what Cisco's saying, which is it's more of it stands more on their defensive side?
I wouldn't necessarily put it all on the defense. Uh, there is some miscommunications on offense that I think is pretty clear. Like on offense, I think DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers aren't clicking like the way everyone wants them to. That just looks like
Hmm.
a chemistry issue. I don't know, uh, what they're doing during practice. They're hanging out. They're doing shrooms together. Fucking going on some ayahuasca trips or something. Like
Well,
we don't know.
they did have those off-season workouts where they met up in LA, I believe. If not, it was somewhere in California. They met up in the off-season and they were, running some routes and doing some plays together. So I don't think it's necessarily a chemistry issue. I feel like it's more it has a lot to do with maybe probably learning that play call sheet and understanding, maybe the type of offense that Arthur Smith is trying to run.
Well, I
I
mean,
think it's just trying to execute it at a higher level, and I
But
think
you,
it's taking some time for Rodgers to kind of get adjusted to that.
well, I think what Loop's also trying to say too is like the chemistry wise, like like adjusting on the fly, like while the play's going on, like Rogers wants them in a certain spot, they're not there. That being that chemistry thing, like
Yeah,
if they see something on the field, Rogers expects them to be in a certain spot, but they're not, so it kind of throws it
yeah,
off.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I think that's kind of what you mean as far as like the chemistry wise, like being like improvising on the fly.
Yeah, because I'm sure Roger, being the quarterback and veteran he is, I'm sure he knows the playbook like the back of
Yeah.
his dick already. I don't think that's really of an issue. Uh, to me, it's really like he's throwing the miscues. Like he's throwing the ball in the open field while these receivers are going a completely different way, and then Roger being like the king of the free play, like we haven't seen him take advantage of that recently as much. Like,
There's
he
also
did take
one
advantage of it. He did
one
take advantage of it,
controversial
but there
call, and he
was
didn't
a
call him.
yeah. He got it. He got them to jump off sides, so he hiked the football.
and
The
then
refs never threw the flag, and yeah,
I think it was fourth. It went to fourth down. I think.
yeah. And the whole time he thought he had a free play, and yeah, he's the king of that shit, bro. Ain't make no mistake about it. But they got a tough matchup coming up ahead.
yeah, they got a pretty tough
Like
schedule rest of the
like I
year
said,
going for them.
I mean they're gonna face the Colts here, if I'm not mistaken, coming up next.
Yep.
And they've been off to a hot start. And so, there's something unusual happening in Indianapolis, because the owner, Carly Ursay Gordon, Jim Ursay's daughter, who took over for the Colts ownership after her father's passing, she's not up in the suites like most owners. She's on the sidelines. And she's not just standing there either. She's wearing a headset. She's listening to staff communications. um and the Colts are off to a 7-1 start with Daniel Jones, which I know that caught everyone by surprise. But she was asked for her reasoning why she stands on the sidelines like that, and she said primarily it's for accountability, but also to learn the game because she's obviously new to the whole thing. But when she spoke of accountability, she said that by hearing the calls in real time, the communication between the coaches and the players, she knows when the mistakes fall on the players and when they fall on the coaches. And it's something that we've just never seen before from an NFL owner. And so I just wanted to kind of get y'all's opinion on that. Is do you think if that's the new model for what an actively involved owner looks like? Because, like I said, we've never seen anything like this.
I, I wouldn't say it's a new model. I think it's just like a her thing, and I kind of dig it because it shows or not. I wouldn't say her passion. Not something what I'm looking for. She's taking initiative into figuring out something she doesn't know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And she has I mean, being the owner, she has the biggest cheat code. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. So hey,
Yeah,
yo,
absolutely.
let me put a headset on. Let me hear what y'all are saying. And I mean, think about how fast you learn the game not listening to freaking Chris Collinsworth glazing Patrick Mahomes, but your coaches and your players doing it in real time. Like I don't know. I could see where as a player and a coach it might get a little annoying because your privacy is there, and now you got to it's not like you're saying bad things, but now you're just cautious of that. There's another person, my boss, is on the line, so there's always that mental aspect behind it. But I kind of like it. I think that's pretty cool.
Cisco, what do you think?
I think it's a great thing. It's kind of like in the real world, right? You see like your boss working with you. It just creates that like it makes everyone like work, but not like in a bad sense. Like, hey, if my owner's willing to work, I'm gonna work too. So it just holds everyone to that high standard, but it also betters her in learning the game more too, right? So if the players and coaches see that, hey, she's willing to learn the game like through us, like shoot, we're gonna go out and there and perform for her, because she's the one signing our paychecks. So if she's
Valid.
willing to
Right.
if she's willing to put in the work, we're willing to put in the work too.
And showing her the right way. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because think about how many owners are just naturally sitting up in their suites, completely disconnected from football. It's like they let the football guys do the football things.
Yeah.
They're the owner. Yeah, they go to the NFL meetings, right? But outside of that, they're really not involved. I mean, that's why they hire a general manager. That's why they hire, their what do they call it? Like the operations
Not
director
Jerry
of
Jones.
operations, not Jerry Jones, right? He knows more than we'll ever remember. So, but nonetheless, right? You don't see that. Look at Mr. Kraft with the Patriots, right? That dude is not involved. He's out there making calls trying to get laid from a masseuse. You know what I mean? So it's
Hey,
like
you're gonna get us canceled over here. He's gonna shut us down.
I don't give a shit, bro.
He's gonna pay to shut us down.
I'm just saying that like,
My
a
first
lot of these
payday, hell
owners
yeah.
are completely disconnected from the team. That's why they hire people to do those kinds of things,
Yeah.
to manage those people. But I like it better, like what you said, Luke, right? Or Cisco is like that she's involved, and she's involved. She doesn't know. She's admitting to you that she doesn't know. But hey, I'm willing to come out here. I'm willing to learn as long as you can show me how it's done. But at the same time, hey, break everything down to me. Tell me what I'm supposed to be hearing. And that's why she's sitting there with her notepad, taking notes or whatever. And I like it that she says, yeah, I want to know who's in the wrong. When we make a mistake, I want to know if it's the player, it's the coach, right? If I'm making these big girl decisions, hiring and firing and responsible for paying these people millions of dollars and also wasting millions of dollars in some cases, right? I want to make sure that I'm making the right decision.
Right.
And how can you disrespect that?
Right. Well,
Absolutely.
I think it also just elevates the players and coaches. Just like you're saying,
100%.
like because if the
Yeah.
owner's willing to put in that work, they're gonna put in that work too. It's just like you see it out in today's world, right? You always see a lot of managers or whatever disconnected from whatever it is, and it's like I'm not gonna. Why am I gonna put my fourth effort in here? He's not even he or she's not even helping,
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And think
always cool
about
when the,
and
when the managers go to battle with you.
and I mean, it's also bad too when if you know more than what the manager, in this case, the owner knows, right? It's like they should know more than you.
well, I was
So
gonna say, think about how that could be empowering them,
yeah,
right? The coaches and the staff, right? They know that their owner doesn't know it, and it's like, she doesn't know a whole lot of things that's going on. So it's like, man, we need to make sure that we do right by her.
yeah,
Because just like Loop said, right, she's the one signing our paycheck. She could fire us because she doesn't know any better. So let's make sure that we show her what it looks like correctly. And so I just, speaks to the empowerment that they probably feel to themselves to say, you know what, let's work with, let's collaborate with everyone together as a team. Let's work collectively as a whole, to not only help ourselves improve, but to also help our owner and empower our owner to be able to make the correct decisions if and when we do mess up. You know what I
right,
mean?
Yeah.
And then it's always good to just get a blind set of, or I say a blind, but that's probably not the right word to use. But it's always good to get a untrained set of eyes in there who is not accustomed to seeing all the bullshit over and over and over again, right? It's better to get a new pair of eyes in there to see what's going on, because maybe she might be able to spot something out that they
I
can't see.
can see right.
Just because there's this is
Norm.
business as
It's a
usual to
norm.
them.
Yeah, it's a norm.
Yeah, this is all muscle memory for everybody, right? But it's new to
Yeah.
her, so she's looking at it through a different lens. So she might be able to call something out that someone else might not be seeing, and who knows? Maybe that's what's been going on, and it's just been making them better for it. 7-1 start, man. You can't be mad at that.
Yeah,
No, not at all. One of the
they were
And
hottest teams in the NFL right now. With the
Jonathan.
dude, JT
MVP, with the
Yeah,
JT for
MVP running
MVP,
back, bro.
bro. You got two MVP race players right there, bro. Did I say that right? Two players in the MVP race. My bad.
race. Yeah,
I saw a stat and it said, um, if Saquon, well, it was a picture. He said, if Saquon didn't win the MVP, then Josh Taylor shouldn't win the MVP.
Jonathan.
Jonathan
Jonathan
Taylor.
Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, my fault. Jonathan Taylor should have won the MVP. My fault.
Yeah.
And then it said, Saquon Barkley had 15 touchdowns that year.
He has
Taylor has
12, right?
Taylor has 15 right now.
Oh, dude.
He said, "Sit down. Your conversation, your argument is not valid."
I will.
Well,
I will say, Jalen Hurts did steal a lot of his touchdowns.
well,
Yeah,
and
he did.
I hate to get off topic, and but that wouldn't be a bad conversation to get into, right? Because the reality is that most likely he won't win MVP. That's
No,
the
which is
shitty part.
bullshit.
That's the shitty part about it, right? But that's where the NFL, I think, needs to they need to, maybe not the NFL, but whoever's in the AP voters,
Yeah,
right? The people who are in charge of voting for the MVP, I think that they need to start realizing that, you know, they always say that the quarterback gets the award first because they touch the ball every single play, and so they're responsible for distributing that ball. And I'm not disagreeing with that argument there, but one could easily argue that if it's not for your running back half the time establishing that run game, that your pass game wouldn't be what it is without your running back. There's only a
Absolutely.
handful of quarterbacks that can deliver the goods without a running game, and they're rare. They're a rare quarterback. They're not everywhere. You can't just pluck them off of a tree, like a leaf on a tree. You can't just do that, right?
yeah.
They need that run game to be established. And so without that run game, what good are you? Without an offensive line, what good are you?
Yeah,
Well,
that's where Jonathan Taylor's run game comes into play for Daniel Jones' passing ability. That's where that plays hand in hand. So
Yeah. I mean, think about how much attention Jonathan Taylor is attracting to him, to where that pass game is so wide open that it's 10 times easier for Daniel Jones. You look at Daniel Jones when he had Saquon Barkley. When Brian Daboll first got to the Giants that first year, they went off.
yeah,
Daniel Jones had a great season. Saquon Barkley had a great season. They made it to the playoffs. They both look great, but then the following season, Saquon gets hurt, and that run game's not established anymore. Daniel
and
Jones goes back to looking like a seventh round draft pick. So
well,
yeah.
so I was gonna ask. So, I mean, obviously this year Jonathan Taylor's popping off. Last year, I think we could all agree Saquon popped off. With these years back to back, do you think they reset the market for running backs?
Well, Saquon already reset the market himself, and so did um
McCaffrey, no.
no Derrick Henry. Both of them reset the market. I mean, but Saquon alone himself was a big push for that. You know what I mean? I don't think that the market's going to get reset, unfortunately, because I think that the league just views them as an expendable commodity.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You're not gonna, they're not gonna pay these running backs. They don't last very long, unfortunately,
Yeah, they
because
don't.
of
About to
the.
say they last one good contract, and it's typically the life of a running back.
Well, the shitty part is that the majority of them only last their rookie contract, which
Yeah.
is anywhere from 4 to 5 years.
Damn.
Well,
You know,
I think I saw somewhere, wasn't it Todd Gurley that messed up like the whole like market for running backs?
no, I mean this has been an ongoing battle for years. I mean it's been like this for God knows how long. Now Todd Gurley, can be a form of an example as to why you wouldn't want to spend so much money on a running back. But his was more so just with injuries. It wasn't necessarily about performance. I mean, obviously the injuries led to his lack of performance,
Yeah,
but in many cases, it's just that they just don't perform as well once they get beyond the year 28. So once they're 28 and older, they don't perform the way that they do when they're 22 to 28. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Their bodies can't take that punishment no more. Their feet, their footwork is not as quick and as fast as it used to be. And so you got to be extremely lucky to get, one good contract, let alone two.
yeah.
Now, what would make more sense is if they were to make an exception for running backs instead of signing 4-year contracts fresh out of college, is that maybe they only sign 2-year contracts, with a third year player option. And in that way that gives them a little bit more leeway into signing a big contract where the NFL owners don't feel like they're necessarily making a bad investment.
I was gonna ask too, like how do you feel about that? Like the rookie contracts, you think they're too long, or I mean, because me personally, I think they're too long, being a rookie contract. Because like I said, like a running back, like typically only lasts a rookie contract, you know. But just in general, do you think the rookie contract's too long, or
How long is the
What do you
rookie
think?
contract?
4 years on, so it's for a first round pick, it's guaranteed 4 years with the fifth year option for the team. The team can pick up a fifth year option on you to keep you under contract under your rookie contract. And that fifth year option is based on that particular year. Your paycheck would be based on the average salary by your position.
That's trash.
Well, not really. If you think about it for a quarterback. If you're signing, because most of the time they're signing like a $24 million contract or whatever for 4 years, and then they pick up that fifth year option, and you go to your average salary for a quarterback, which is going to be like 50 million. Yes,
what
sir.
about like for everyone else though? You know,
Everyone
like
else is
where they
all
can't.
so everywhere else is a 4 year contract, if I'm not mistaken. It's just if I'm man, I want to say it's first and second round picks. Your contracts are guaranteed, and I think third through seventh, they're 4 year contracts, but they're non guaranteed. So meaning that the team can cut you, in OTAs or mini camp or whatever, the team can cut you, and you're done. They don't have to pay you out on that contract or nothing.
That would make sense. I can see that,
So
right? I can see that being correct.
I
but I
would.
just
I
think
mean,
that I think that maybe they should restructure running backs. Maybe instead of signing them to 4 year deals, maybe sign them to a 2 year deal. Like if they're a first round pick, maybe sign them to a 2 year deal with a third year team option.
see, like I think that should be for everyone,
Yeah,
like
Mm.
all
probably.
positions.
But I get the 4 years because it takes about 4 years for a player to develop in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, because look at everyone's second year. I mean, well, let's use the Texans quarterback for example, C.J. Stroud. Crazy rookie year, and then
Tailed off.
it was still a good sophomore year, but it was a sophomore slump. So like, how would you pay him like off those 2 years? I think these next 2 years are very justifiable. for to be on a rookie contract. In
Well,
this
and
case,
even quarterbacks alone, like they need to quit with this whole um
pay
every
me now.
quarterback that gets paid resets the market. Like, I'm sorry, but
Uh,
there should be like different levels of stipulations. If within your first 4 years or whatever, when you get extended, you haven't reached the playoffs, okay, so then you can't go for a max eligible contract to
you're
reset
not
the
that guy,
market.
pal. Trust me, you're not that
Yeah.
guy.
If you don't have like a certain percentage of winning record, if you don't have a certain completion percentage or a certain QBR rating or something of that nature, like you shouldn't just get paid fucking $50 million, $60 million just because you're the starting quarterback.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I'm
that's
I'm sorry,
Tua.
but I know that the players in the NFL completely disagree with that.
Oh yeah,
But in that same note, those are also the same players that are complaining about why they can't get paid. Well, it's because you have to pay 40% of the cap space goes to your quarterback,
quarterback.
goes to
Yeah,
one person only. Like, get realistic with it. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, I mean, like everyone wanting top money, but not a top performer. It's crazy.
Yeah, but no one thinks to, and this is also what made Brady the GOAT.
yep,
Is that dude took less money so that way they can pay other players to get top tier talent on that squad.
yep,
And I'm sorry, but none of in this day and age, the players are too selfish to get their own money rather than
It's like
thinking about the
less.
team.
Yeah,
yep. I used to always talk about that, and because Brady'd be like, I don't need the salary. I got endorsements. Like,
Exactly. These guys get paid killer fucking money, bro, through endorsements, through car insurance commercials and health commercials and all this other stuff that they get involved into. Lowe's and HEB, local grocery stores, like,
yeah,
bro, they're making hand over fist money. But whatever. Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump topics here, boys, because we officially hit the midway point of the season. And if the playoffs started today, some big names would be sitting at home. Names like the Texans, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Vikings, Commanders, and Cowboys are all on the outside looking in. No one's mathematically eliminated yet, but the clock is ticking. So the real question is, which one of these teams do you trust to make the right adjustments and fight their way into the playoffs as the second half of the season begins?
you're gonna have to read me that list again, sir.
that's a tough.
So you got the Texans, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Vikings, Commanders, and Cowboys. Those are your top six names that I think at the beginning of the season, we all kind of more or less had them going into the playoffs. Well, those
Yeah,
teams are all sitting on the outside. And believe it or not, Sunday night, the Chiefs were on that list too.
yeah,
But because they propelled themselves to a win last night against the Commanders, they actually kicked the Jaguars out of that seventh seed, plugged themselves into that seventh seed right now. So if the
Mm,
playoffs started today, the Chiefs would be in. But if the playoffs started Sunday night, the Chiefs would have been out.
wow.
I'll tell you who
Yeah.
has the least chance is the Vikings. Um, Led on their division alone. You got everyone in their division. The Bears, they're on a little streak. They're not hot, but they're still doing good. But then you have the Lions and fucking Green Bay, of course, doing their thing. So I would say the Vikings are the first person people you can cross out. The Bengals and the Ravens is a tough one because the Steelers. How are the Steelers going to do now? Is this going to be a rough patch for the Steelers? Is this going to give one of them the opportunity to somehow take the throne? But we know how the Bengals are playing, so I would say we could probably cancel the Bengals out because I don't know if Joe Money's going to come back in time to uh, to take care of all that.
Well, he'll be back in mid-December. So
Is
that
that enough
does
time though?
well,
That's
and
what
that's
four
why they
lost
brought
games.
in Joe
The
Flacco
other
in
Joe.
in in hopes that he would try to hold down the fort, right? They obviously shouldn't have lost that game against, what was it, the Jets, right?
Yeah.
39-38. They shouldn't have lost to them. But right there, you know what that game told me is that the Bengals defense is the same old defense. Is that because this is exactly what Joe Burrow was doing last season? He was throwing up 30 and 40 burgers every single weekend and losing.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
Bengals defense just does what the Bengals defense does, which is
Nothing.
just suck ass.
They play flag football.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy, bro. I mean, I don't understand how that defensive coordinator is still there. But whatever. So
Yeah.
believe it or not, um, it is the Bengals that actually have the least. So the NFL's given them a 7% chance to make the playoffs. The Cowboys have a 12% chance. The Vikings have an 11% chance.
The Texans
The
probably have the highest.
the Commanders have an 8% chance. The Texans are at 45% and the Ravens are at 57%.
Mm. See, I want to say the Ravens have the best chance because of the team and the coach. They have a veteran coach in Harbaugh, been there, done that, proven coach. And then everyone knows how they can play when they're firing at all cylinders. It's like the fucking Chiefs. We saw how they were doing in the beginning of the year. Now they're fucking boom, 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 boom. All it takes is one good game Lamar has when he comes back for them just to start popping off and being back to them old selves. So they would have the best chance because I could see that happening over Stroud finding his stride and like running through the rest of the season.
Yeah, I completely agree with you with the Ravens. In fact, they do have the best chance, honestly. They're going to get
Yeah.
Lamar they're going to get Lamar back on Thursday. He's going to start. If you look at their schedule for the second half of the season, they have one of the easiest schedules in the entire league. And if I'm not mistaken, pretty much every single game is winnable. And I wouldn't doubt that if Lamar is even just half of what he typically is in the regular season, that they'll most likely be favored in every single game from here on out. So they very
Oh my
well could
goodness.
they very well could win out the season where they stand right now and take the top spot in the AFC North.
Well,
They
and I was going to throw in there too, so that they've obviously had injuries on the defensive side, but they're slowly starting to come back,
Right.
and so that definitely plays a factor too with them coming back.
they do play the Patriots and the Packers in December. But other than that, you got the Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals, Steelers,
Hmm.
Bengals.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So a lot of the games are very winnable games, and there's no reason why they don't stand a chance to at least win out. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, I would say maybe two losses, maybe from the rest for the rest of the season, so they can finish 10-7.
Which is enough to make the playoffs. Because you look at the Steelers are 4-3. And like I said, they got those back-to-back games against the Chargers and Colts. They could easily win one, or I'm sorry, lose one of those two games,
Yeah.
if not both of those games, which would put them at 4-5 on the season. And they still have to face divisional opponents like the Ravens and like the Browns and the Bengals. And you gotta think that with Lamar there, back on the
Damn.
Raven squad, that's going to be a tough win right there. And then in mid December, when Joe Burrow comes back, they're most likely going to have to play them again at some point to finish off the season. And what does that look like with Burrow out there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could be
You-
firing on all cylinders. So it's going to be a tough out for the Steelers for sure. You know, they had an opportunity to really put a nail in the coffin on that division had they just at least won two of the of their three losses. If they would have
Yeah.
started off, you know, six and what would that have been? 6-1, it'd be a wrap. Everybody else could go ahead and just start booking vacations, you know. But you, you drop a couple of games and you leave the AFC North wide open for everyone to
Mm.
take. And it's crazy to think about it because you got the Browns that have no fucking quarterback, can't figure out who their quarterback is. You got the Bengals who have no quarterback. They're having a 40-year-old veteran come in here to try to save the day. And then
With
Lamar
no
Jackson's been
defense.
with no defense. And then you have Lamar Jackson who's been injured for the past what, 3-4 weeks.
Getting high, going to food trucks.
Yeah. Practicing on Friday and not showing up to the game on Sunday, being listed as questionable afterwards and being then listed it out. And there's a whole other story about that, man, but we won't get into it. But what I really want to do is I want to shift gear. Do you guys pay attention to college at all? College
Kind
football?
of. Kind of,
So
not really.
Brian Kelly's out of LSU after dropping three of the last four, just capped off by an embarrassing collapse at home against Texas A&M. The Tigers went into halftime. They were up 18-14. Then they gave up 35 unanswered points in the second half, ultimately losing that game 49-25 on their own turf. So that dropped them down to 5-3, knocking them out of the college football playoff chase. And so now the question shifts to the future, which is who takes over in Baton Rouge, because names are already surfacing, um, such as Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss, Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame, and former LSU assistant, now Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady. His name is also popped into the conversation, and
Hmm.
so obviously big changes are coming to LSU, but again, I don't know if you guys watch this or not, but what do you think would be the right move if you feel confident or comfortable enough to make a statement on that?
I wouldn't know my left from my right on that.
No,
No, I
Get
don't
Nick
really watch
Saban out of
college.
retirement.
bro. Honestly, like I when I was writing some of these topics down, that's one of the things that popped into my head was is like, what if they were because Nick Saban used to coach at LSU, won a national
Yeah.
title at LSU before he left to go coach the Dolphins. And then we know how that went. And then he goes to Alabama afterwards. So I'm like, man,
Well,
what if what if
and they
what
have
if what if Saban saw this all along?
One time for the
well,
one time.
and I'm looking at their schedule. They have a bye week this week, and they play Alabama the week after.
Well, they're not going to make a hire right now. They're not going to throw in a coach
And
mid-season.
they can.
Oh, of course they can. But right now they're still working on a buyout for Brian Kelly
Mm.
because he still had 50 more he still had $54 million left on his contract that they're going to have to buy him out on.
Jeez.
So they're trying to negotiate how much of that LSU is going to actually have to pay them out.
Jeez.
So they're going to have they're probably spending this bye week to figure all that stuff out. And from this point
That's
forward,
crazy.
they're just going to be working in probably an interim coach temporarily. Again, you're not going to plug in like an official head coach midway through the season because that dude's going to have to deploy all of his offensive schemes and he's going to have to hire his own coaching staff and all that good jazz. And that's just not going to happen midway through the season. So, whoever they decide to hire, it's not going to happen till after the season's over. It's just really a matter of who is it that they hire because there have been coaches such as the ones that I listed, you know, Lane Kiffin, Marks Freeman, and people like that. They've jumped ship to go coach at a different school. I can think back to Texas A&M's baseball coach, right? He was in the college baseball playoffs made it pretty deep into the playoffs. They got eliminated. Texas went a little bit farther than them. Well, the Texas coach, I believe, was retiring or something like that. And so they're asking A&M's coach, "Hey, are you going to take that Texas job?" He goes, "Not a chance in hell. I love this team. I love this city. I love this town." Literally, I'm not fucking joking you. The next day, the fucking A&M's baseball coach takes the Texas job. The next the next day. So
That's
that's just
crazy.
how fast these things can happen in college. So,
Money talks,
people
bro.
money talks, and that's what that's what LSU has, man. LSU has a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
It is insane the amount of resources that LSU has, which is why it's such a sought after job. But man, could you imagine if Saban comes out of retirement and takes himself back to Baton Rouge? Wee. SEC better watch the fuck out.
That'd be pretty crazy.
Oh man.
Well, I mean,
But
because
anyways,
haven't they like kind of talked about it on game day when his wife was there?
I know it was something that got brought up, and obviously, well, she made actually a money comment.
Yeah.
She made a money comment that no one's offered enough money yet, or something like that. Well, LSU will be willing to throw them a piece of that pie. You feel me,
Yeah.
bro?
Shoot.
That would be wild, son. That would be
that,
wild.
that would be wild.
But
That'd be wild.
anyways, I wasn't sure if you guys paid attention to college enough or whatever. I follow it a little bit and was pretty into that whole topic of conversation because I was just like, wow. I mean, do y'all even know the backstory behind Brian Kelly?
No.
So he used to be the head coach at Notre Dame, and he was doing okay for himself, whatever. He was thought to be a great coach. Well, the LSU job came up, and he ultimately decides to take it. And when they asked him why, they said, well, because my chances of getting a national championship are better at LSU than they were at Notre Dame. Well, wouldn't you know that that next season,
Notre Dame went to the national championship.
Notre Dame goes to the national championship and LSU completely misses the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that made him eat his words completely.
Yeah.
Wow. That is terrible, bro.
Yeah. So they're coming into this season, obviously he was definitely on a hot seat because he missed the playoffs last year too, if I'm not mistaken. And so the question was, is like, how the fuck are you going to figure it out? Are you gonna make it to the playoffs finally? And of course, they start the season off. He was on a 3-game opening day losing streak. They beat Clemson, so they go up 1-0. So he saves his ass there, and they got started off hot. I think they started off 3-0 before dropping their first game, and then now they've dropped 2 of the last 3, and so now they're just completely out of the playoffs. I don't even think they're ranked right now in the top 25.
Yikes.
It's crazy,
That's
bro. So,
yeah.
and here's a
Crazy how the
crazy,
tables turn.
well, here's another odd piece of the story. So that all happened on Saturday. Well, Sunday night, my phone goes off with my ESPN alert, and it said that
Do it, do it, do it,
LSU
do it. Hold on, do it, do it.
dun-dun-dun. So my phone goes off, and it says LSU is planning on informing head coach Brian Kelly of his dismissal. And I'm like, how are they planning it if you're releasing
Yeah,
the info now?
right.
Like that, to me, that didn't
Yeah,
make
that
any
makes no
sense the
sense.
way that it was worded. I was like, okay, wait, so the whole entire world knows except him?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Hey, everybody. Y'all keep it down. Today
yeah,
at about five
don't say
o'clock,
a
we're having a
word.
meeting. We're gonna fire Brian Kelly.
Yeah, but don't tell the world, but not him.
Like you don't have the ESPN app.
Like he don't have the ESPN up on his phone. Exactly. Crazy, right?
He's all, ah, damn.
Well, anyway, man, I'm sorry to kind of shift topics over there to college, but
Nah, there you
let's jump back into the NFL, man, because the Cowboys came into Denver riding a 3-game win streak, but the Broncos quickly humbled them. Just a week after hanging 44 points on the Commanders, Dallas turned around and gave up 44 themselves. Right now, this defense looks like one of the worst in the league, and yet the expectations remain that the Cowboys should still be in the playoffs. So with the trade deadline looming next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, the big question is how aggressive should Dallas be in the market to shore up that defense? Um, and if they even land a marquee player, which I mean we can only assume that they will, how much faith do you even have in Matt Eberflus to actually fix the defensive side of the team?
Well,
Mm.
I had saw where supposedly the Cowboys did talk to the Raiders about Crosby, but the Raiders said no. I don't know how true that is, right? But knowing how Jerry Jones is, I don't think he hits the trade by the deadline. Just by how he's been in the previous years. I mean, prime example too, not picking up Derrick Henry in the offseason and not making a move till like very late in the offseason, as far as signings go. So I
So
mean,
you're
as
on
far
the
as
side that they're not even gonna make any moves at all. They're just gonna leave it as is and ride the
that's
wave.
what I think. That's what I think.
I got you, Luke. What do you think?
There's not a player that comes to mind that I could think of that they can sign that would immediately make a difference on the defense. That like I'll tell you the best person I think that would be cool for them to sign would be Miles Garrett because you know damn well he wants out of the Browns. But that
Dude,
guy, his contract is crazy, and I'm sure he's on a no release or a no what you call it trade clause.
his contract
So
is cheaper than what they were gonna have to pay Micah.
really,
Yes. Miles Garrett's making $40 million a year. Micah's making like 47, 48. So they signed Miles Garrett back in March, which is when they were
Mhm.
supposed to have signed Micah Parsons too. That's supposedly the whole rumor mill that went around with Jerry Jones and the whole Micah trade thing was that originally he offered him that contract right after Miles Garrett signed. So basically him and Miles Garrett were going to get paid the same. Well, Micah held off for a little bit knowing that TJ Watt was supposed to get paid too. So what happens? TJ Watt gets signed a few weeks later, resets the market at like 42 million. And from that point forward, we don't know what the hell happened. I mean, all talks kind of
Yeah.
just dwindled off or dwindled down, however you want to say it, and whatever. But Miles Garrett, dude, that
yeah,
would be that'd
you got an
be.
A&M boy
Could you
coming
fucking
back to
imagine
Texas.
Miles
Yeah.
Garrett on the Cowboys? The amount of money he would make in marketing,
Oh, bro, crazy.
dude, crazy. And just coming off of that 5 sack performance, did you hear what he said on his post game? He said he'll
I didn't hear
trade
what he
in the
said in
five.
spoken.
He said he'll trade in all 5 of those sacks for a win. And I mean, that just goes to tell you, right? That performance means absolutely nothing because they
Well,
didn't win the
and
game.
and yeah, and I mean that goes to show you what kind of player he is too. He just wants to win, right? Like he don't care. Like
Well, he
if
wants to make some money too because he did sign a
I mean
contract.
he does,
I mean,
but
he told Cleveland
Hey,
that he
but know
wanted
your
out.
worth, King. Know your worth.
yeah, know
Oh,
your worth. But I mean,
brother, he
knowing
knows his
he's
worth. Trust me.
Yeah.
knowing he's still on a losing team, he's still balling out.
Oh,
He's
absolutely.
he's still going. Like knowing he's still on a losing team. So I mean, I could just imagine if he goes to like a Cowboys team, that'd be crazy.
Well, since you brought up the Browns, dude, let's talk about the Browns real quick. This was not gonna be on our topics of conversation today. But what the fuck is wrong with Kevin Stefanski, bro? Like it he refuses to say Shador's name. I don't know if y'all noticed that. But
Yeah.
in the press
No.
conferences, he will not say Shador's name. He either says something like him or the other quarterback or our other quarterback or the other guy, he refuses to say Shador's name. I have a massive problem with that. I'm not even in the
Go
damn
on.
league. It's not even
Go
me.
on, Steve. Go on, Steve.
That just pisses me off. I mean, bro, you're paying 7 fucking quarterbacks on your payroll and you have two
Jeez.
and you have two that are active. One of them you can't even say his name. And the other one plays like shit.
Didn't he mention something about the third string quarterback coming up?
Yes, they activated Bailey Zappi. Well, but that was because Shador did have like a he was listed with an injury or whatever, so he was listed out for the game this past week. And so they had to activate Bailey Zappi as a for a QB2 temporarily. But it's like, bro, what in the F is going on? You're still not giving him first team reps, which is the dumbest thing in the world because
Yeah.
every other QB2 gets first team reps along with QB1. It's not going to be as many, but they're still going to get some first team reps because God forbid QB1 does go down. They do need this motherfucker to step in and actually be worth a damn.
I mean, and like, what do you lose at this point? Like just try him in. Like there's nothing to lose at
Put
this
him
point.
in or fucking trade him. Put him in or trade him. Just get
Right.
him out of there. You clearly don't want him. You drafted him for all the media purposes because you knew that it would attract attention into your organization, and it has attracted attention in your organization, and you have just made yourself look like an absolute idiot
Yeah.
because you
I
signed
just
Joe
don't see.
Flacco and trade him away. You drafted Dylan Gabriel and put him as QB2. You drafted Shador Sanders and damn near put him at QB4. Or you actually had him at QB4 because then you also traded or signed Kenny Pickett in the
Yeah.
offseason. So you had Shador as QB4 along with Bailey Zappi at QB5 if there's ever such a thing. Then you trade away Kenny Pickett to the Raiders. So that naturally promoted Shador to QB3. Then you trade away Joe Flacco to the Bengals, which is in the same division as you. The same division. And when Dylan
The
Gabriel gets
same the
promoted to
same state,
QB1,
bro.
when Dylan Gabriel gets promoted to QB1, it took you an entire week for you to say that Shador was your QB2.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
They don't want
Like,
him there.
yeah.
I wonder why. I wonder what's going on. I want to know the back.
Bro,
I want to know the backstories, the gossip.
it was for the publicity. I'm telling you, man. It has to be. I mean, outside of that, I mean, think about it. If they don't draft Shador, who else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Deshaun Watson and how bad that signing was and how they're still
Or Miles
eating that
Garrett.
contract.
Miles Garrett, the
Yeah,
5 sacks.
but Miles Garrett is a positive. I'm talking about they're outside of Miles Garrett. That's the only thing positive that the Browns have going for them is Miles Garrett. Everything else is an
Yeah.
absolute negative. So why draft Shador? Because he gives the media something to talk about. It provides
Well,
a distraction to their real issues.
and I don't know if y'all saw too, the Browns are going to build a new stadium, complete by like 2029 or something.
How the
Yeah.
hell are you gonna do that?
It looked pretty nice, like because it
Well,
went like
because
to the
Cleveland's a
walkthrough and
football
everything.
town. Cleveland's a football town, and they love that football team regardless of how shitty they are. They're very loyal fans.
Like how long have they been bad for?
Um, our whole lives for sure.
Yeah,
Damn,
that's
like
crazy,
the
dude.
worst team our whole lives. Like there's been a couple teams that have been the worst teams my whole life. It's been the Jets, the Browns, and the Jaguars up to recently.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, think about it, bro. Like all time great, you can only name one player from the Browns,
Joe Thomas.
Which
and
is
it's easy. and it's easy to remember because it's the same name as the
The
team,
Brown.
Jim
Yeah.
Brown.
Oh, Joe Thomas.
I'm just saying
Baker Mayfield. Just kidding.
it was a it was a it was a joke, Luke. I don't know if you didn't catch that. It was a joke. It was meant to be a joke. Did you catch it?
Is
No.
he frozen or what?
No, he's not frozen. I could see
No.
I could see his fucking screen all fidgety and shit. Anyways, my bad,
Moving
dude.
on.
Again, we got off topic, man.
Moving on.
On to the next one, guys. The Eagles continue to soar. The Eagles continue to soar, beating the Giants 38-20 to notch their second straight win. Saquon Barkley finally broke out with 150 yards and 2 touchdowns in just 14 carries. But the real story came midway through the second quarter. Cam Scatterboo was targeted on an incompletion from Jackson Dart, and in the process was taken down by Zach Bond with the hip drop tackle, a move the NFL officially banned back in 2024. The league cited data showing it's 20% more likely to cause lower body extremities or lower body injuries, yet not a single flag has been thrown for it this season. Instead, the NFL has leaned on fines that average $16,000 for the first offense, $22,000 for the second. Clearly, fines alone are not stopping this from happening. So the question becomes, what should the league actually do to enforce this rule and protect its players from what is now a very concerning issue?
So my take is probably not the most popular one because I would say fuck it, let them hip drop tackle. Do you know how hard it is to tackle somebody running?
They did it just fine without the hip drop tackle for the last 100 years.
What do you mean?
The hip drop tackle was never a thing up until recently. They
What do you
tackled
mean?
just fine. They
I
tackled
used to
just
always
fine
remember coaches being like,
in the last 100 years. The hip drop tackle was not a popular technique. It was not a technique that was taught up until recently.
I remember coaches used to always telling us, grab the hips and fall, wrap around the hips and pull them down.
Yeah. That's how I
Well,
was taught too.
if
So
if
it's
you're
like,
if you're wrapping around the hips, it depends on how you're falling. What they're citing particularly is them wrapping themselves around the hips, yes, but falling back on their legs, pulling them back and dropping on their legs. And you look at what it's done, right? Cam Scatterboo is obviously the one that we're talking about right now, but the same
yeah,
thing happened to CeeDee Lamb at the beginning of the season. Same thing, hip drop tackle, whatever. Uh, um, Bills wide receiver, Josh Palmer, he's out right now because of a hip drop tackle. There's been and there's numerous of other injuries that have happened over the last few seasons, specifically because of the way that tackle, uh, the way it works. And so again, last season, before the season started, they banned it. They held a vote to it. They banned it because it was a technique that they were teaching players. They banned it from happening, saying that there's going to be a flag that's going to get thrown and you're going to get fined. Well, they haven't thrown a single flag for it at all, but yet the
yeah.
injuries continue to pile on.
Well, I mean, in that case right there with Scatterboo, um, I watched that play over and over and over again in slow motion and real time. I don't see how else he tackles him because at first he goes for the ball and he doesn't know if Scatterboo caught the ball or not. So he wraps around the chest and then they both slide down. So I
I don't
so
I
so
don't
I mean
think I
just
don't think
watching that
people are
over.
intentionally doing it, but because it was taught, it's hard
Well,
for
that's
people to
that's what I'm
break that
saying. You know
habit.
you know how hard it is to bring somebody down without doing that. Like it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough to tackle someone.
But
You
I
know,
mean,
when the easiest way to do it is to take their center of gravity away.
I don't
Damn.
think anyone's disagreeing with you that it's hard to tackle somebody, but there are numerous of other ways to tackle somebody other than that particular way.
In the open field, chasing them. How? You hope to be fast enough to run into them and fall on them or trip them as you dive. Like
I don't know. I mean,
you gonna pull his
I'm not a
arm.
professional analyst. I'm not a professional analyst at all this, right? But I mean, I think that you know just as well as I know that there are numerous amount of ways to tackle somebody. You don't have to be a professional to admit that, right?
Mm, I
Yes.
mean, it is there really a lot of ways to tackle somebody?
Sure there is.
You
I
mean
mean, you
hit
should know.
somebody?
You should know.
You mean hit somebody?
You talk about your high
well,
school
see,
days all the time.
You say
well,
there's numerous ways to hit somebody, not tackle
I didn't
somebody.
say hit. I didn't say hit.
No,
I
but
said
that's what they're
tackle.
meaning to say. There's numerous ways to hit somebody,
Who's
but
they?
tackling I think is
because
pretty specific. It's
because
head
you're for
across the
sure taught to
body
hit,
with the shoulder.
but right, hit and then wrap up. You're always taught to hit and then wrap up.
Yeah.
So there's I mean there's really one way to like
But we're
probably a
we're
couple ways.
okay, but Cisco just said it best right there. You're taught to hit and to wrap up, not to fall.
Well, but like, what do you do after that? You don't just
But
wrap
you're
up and stay
chasing them
there.
down.
I
You're
don't want to hear
chasing
it.
them down.
I don't want to hear it. You said it
You know
right
how
there.
hard it is to
You
to
said it
build
right
enough
there.
speed or run through
Taught to
somebody
hit,
while you're
taught
chasing
to
them down?
taught to wrap up.
But what do
No.
you do after the
I
wrap
sup,
up?
son. I sup, son. I sup.
So that's the same. That's gonna be this. That's like the same thing with like these fucking roughing the passer hits. You're taught to wrap up on a hit, but you can't wrap up on a quarterback like that.
Hey, dog. I don't make the rules, baby. Okay.
Exactly. They're all.
I, I don't make the rules. I'm just
So
sitting
then,
here
why you
telling you
care about
how.
enforcing them?
I'm just sitting here telling you how it is, baby.
So then, why are you worried about enforcing them? Who
You
cares if
getting
they
all
throw the
mad.
flag or not?
You getting all mad because
Who
of what
cares
I
if they
just
throw the
said.
flag or not?
Relax, baby. It ain't hurting you. I'm just providing an opinion. It's okay.
What are you talking about?
both ends of
What you mean? What
both
am I
ends of the
talking
table. You
about?
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just
I know,
providing you
right?
with one side.
I mean,
Right
from
on.
Anyways,
my side,
well,
I don't
hey,
know
so
how else he tackles it.
we're gonna stay with this whole Eagles and Giants game, okay? Because there was other controversy in that game. So on a 4th and 1, Jalen Hurts lined up for the tush push, but this time things went sideways. So Giants pass rusher Brian Burns stripped the ball clean, recovered it, had the possession before the whistle, and instead of a turnover, the officials ruled it forward progress, even though the whistles weren't even blown until after Burns had the football. So the game was tied at that time. Momentum was swinging towards the Eagles' way, and 2 plays later, the Eagles scored after that whole tush push. It was a complete gut punch for New York. So the tush push has already been one of the league's most controversial plays over the last 2 years. It's nearly unstoppable. Players hate it, and offseason proposals to ban it fell short. Add in constant complaints about false starts, early jumps, and now a fumble wiped off the board, and the frustrations are boiling over. So the question is that after the latest controversy, will this finally be enough for the NFL to put the tush push to rest?
No.
Well, I will say I didn't hear a whistle on that tush push, so I think that should have been a fumble because I didn't hear any whistle blown or it dead or anything. You know, because he Hurts obviously extended that ball to make sure he got the first down, and there was still no
Exactly.
whistle, and then that's when he took it. So that definitely should have been a fumble, but I think the reason why players hate it is because they can't stop it. I mean, I know the offensive line hates it too, just because they're at the bottom of the pile with all the bodies on top of them, so all that
Yeah.
weight, right? But as far as like the defensive side, they hate it because they can't stop it. That's what I
Well,
think.
and so
I
just so we're clear, because I think that we were all kind of in the agreement of that. Don't ban the tush push because I'm still with that. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
hey, just because you can't stop it doesn't mean you should ban it. But in this
Allow
particular
defenses
case,
to push.
just allow defenses to push. Exactly. Allow them to do the same
Yeah,
thing, make it fair both ways. But in this particular case, this season, right? Obviously, because of the elevated, attention that it got over the offseason and the fact that, it still didn't get approved to get banned, all eyes were still going to be on the tush push. And then the fact that the Eagles ran it 4 times in a row, like what did Loop, what did you say that how Nick Sirianni said on the mic?
do it again.
Fuck it, Jalen.
Fuck
Do
it,
it
do it
again.
again.
Yeah, so it's like, but in the end, like nobody really wants to see it. I get it. I do. I kind of like it because it's like, dude, like, man up, bro. You know what I mean? Like that's what they're telling
Well,
you.
and see,
Is like, man up
I
and
mean,
stop me. But from the
exactly. Like
officiating
coming from an Eagles
standpoint,
fan too. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say now it's being brought to light from an officiating standpoint. And this is something that's never been looked at before on the tush push side. But again, because of so
Yeah.
much attention, now people are running it in slow mo and they're looking at it at closer angles. And you got guys that are jumping off sides, guys that are jumping early. I mean, you name it, there's all kinds of stuff going on, right? And so now
Yeah.
I think that there's just too much noise around it. Unless the officials from this point forward can figure out a way to officiate that play better, because that should have been a fumble. It was a fumble. Let's
Mhm.
just be honest. It was a
So
fumble.
you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of when the Texans, when Stroud fucking should have got that safety. No whistle, but they reviewed the play and they said forward progress would have been stopped at the 1 yard line. So they called it dead there. That's the same way I kind of view this fumble, quote unquote. I don't know what New York is doing. They're consistent, I guess, but for what? What reason? Like, what are they doing? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the whole replay assist thing works great. It really does because it's actually helped out tremendously in terms of just you know uh making a decision on the fly, like real quick. I mean, you've seen it before where it's like, oh, hey, right after the play, like seconds after the play, oh, replay assist says it's a
Yeah.
completed pass, whatever, and it just
Yeah.
eliminates the downtime from either like an official review or a coach having to throw a flag, you know, some of the
Right.
more obvious things that don't require like deep, a deep cover analysis on.
Deep
In this particular
dives.
case, this is a deep cover analysis. You got guys that are they're zooming in slow mo, and obviously slow mo is going to show you a different story than what it does in real time. So that part I understand, but because it's got so much attention to it right now, I just think, and the league doesn't know how to respond to it. I think that's probably the most important thing is that the league doesn't know how to respond to it.
Well, at the end
Well,
of the
I
day, it's a
mean, they
play.
did
Like,
give.
how you gonna ban the play?
They banned all kinds of shit. I mean, technically it's not banned, but it's not allowed anymore. You can't do surprise onside kicks. So technically that's banned. But I mean, they took it out. You can't do it no more.
But a surprise onside kick isn't a play. It's just an onside kick. You can still
It's
do
a
an onside
play.
kick.
That's a
Yeah,
play.
you can still do it.
You can't do it. Not in the league today.
So,
You could do an onside, not a
so
surprise
You can
onside.
do an onside kick. You can't do a surprise onside kick. And
yeah, but you can still
when
do.
you do an onside kick, you have to inform the other team you're doing it. In years
So
past,
so then
previously, you
so
didn't
then
have to tell them. Teams only just
Yeah, no,
assumed they were
exactly.
going to
I
do.
know.
Teams only
But you
just
can
well
still.
so
assumed they were going
then
to do an onside kick.
so then let's
They
just
just took the
inform the other
surprise
teams.
away.
Okay, we're gonna do the tush push right now.
Yeah,
Just tell them, yeah, we're
that's
gonna
what
do
I'm
the tush
saying.
push right now.
No, that's something
The Eagles
totally
can
different.
fucking announce it. They're still gonna get their 1 yard.
What it is, though, you guys are not understanding is that they can't get the
No,
officiating
I
correct.
no, I know. Well, I mean, it's hard to see in real time
Right. That's what I'm saying.
because everyone's all jumbled up at that line,
And so
offense
now
and
it's going to
defense.
be now it's going to be that much easier because again, how is the league going to be able to respond to that? And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Because the league probably isn't going to know how to respond to that, then they're going to have no choice but to ban it.
Well, and if I'm being completely honest, I've seen more offsides from defense than I have anything else consistently, like over the years.
Yeah.
I really think the
But I
league
mean,
says get over it.
Believe me, I mean,
but
I like the play.
they
I love it.
they did give the coaches the opportunity if they want to keep it or ban it.
Well, yeah, but they had 22 out of the 32 teams vote, and in order for it to get banned, you had to have 24 votes. So more than half the league wants it gone at the end of the day.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And all they need is
because they can't
two
stop it.
all they need is two more votes.
Like they're just
I
throwing that
don't
out there, like, oh, because you
I
can't
don't think
officiate
it's
it and blah
I
blah blah. I
don't think
think
it's because I don't think people are disagreeing, or I don't think people are saying that because they can't stop it, the coaches. I think what they're saying
oh they are.
is it's no, no, no. If you listen to some of the arguments that they had, it's exactly what you and
They
I are
have to
agreeing
make
on.
an argument. No, they have
Cisco,
to make an argument because they're not going to come out and say we can't stop it, so we want it banned. They're not going to say that. That would be bad for them to say that. So they're not. They have to make an argument.
I 1,000% agree. Actually,
well, what I'm trying to say, Cisco, is that they're saying what we're saying is that because they can't allow the defensive side to push, but you're allowing the
That
offensive
that
side to
that's what
push,
that
that's
that's the
why
only
they're
thing they should
asking to ban
change.
it. Now, if they were to
No,
come out
that's
and
the only
say,
thing they
"Hey,
should
well,
change.
you can push now on the defensive side," you probably see a lot more coaches just lay off the whole thing.
See, well,
You
so
know what I
see
mean?
what
that's
if
what
they
coaches
say
should
you can't
say
push on offense
instead of
now?
banning it.
It would
Yeah,
work
what if they
both
just say
ways.
no pushing on
Okay.
offense?
Then that would just be called a quarterback sneak,
Yeah.
which has always been a
So
thing.
yeah, that's always been
Yeah,
there. But I mean, so instead of coaches saying like ban it, they should say allow us to push too. Because them saying banning it because of it's hard to officiate. In reality, it's because they can't stop it. But say hey, let us push two. Then
Yeah.
they
Well,
want that. Hey,
that's a
we could
whole other
stop it.
separate rule that was instilled years back too. Because of
Right.
the whole field goal issue. People were lifting
Yeah.
off on field goals and pushing through the line and all that jazz. So that's where that whole you can't push on the defensive side came from. But
yeah, I remember that
I
shit.
think that's why the league won't allow them to push, is because if they allow the defense to push, well, then that also falls in the category of field goals, which is what they don't want. And so therefore they
I,
stand no grounds to argue that call. So that's why they're
I
just saying
mean,
just ban it all together.
well, I mean, it could be like the onside kick we're talking about, right? How you have to let the receiving team know, hey, we're gonna do an onside kick. So hey,
I
let the
mean, I
team
think
know we're
it's
gonna do a
pretty
twist push, and then you
obvious.
can push.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's kind of weird, man. But anyways, let's let's shift some gears to the UFC, where the highly anticipated heavyweight clash between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane ended in chaos. The fight lasted just 4 minutes and 35 seconds before it was ruled a no contest after Aspinall was poked in the eye. He was given time to recover, but ultimately told officials he couldn't see out of his right eye. Fans in the arena booed loudly as they headed for the exits. And in his post fight interview, Aspinall didn't hold anything back, saying, "This is bullshit. I can hardly open my eye." Online, fans were split. Some calling the poke a dirty move by Gane, others saying Aspinall quit when the pressure was on. Dana White praised Gane afterwards, saying he looked sharp and a rematch would likely be booked soon. Loop, I'll throw it to you. What do you think of the poke itself, and how do you feel about the fans booing Aspinall in that moment?
I think the poke was terrible, and I think fans should like you should never boo as a fan. Like fans, I hate booing fans, bro. Booing fans just need to stay home or shut the fuck up. But I don't think anyone should be really questioning his eye poke. Like that
But
thing was
as a fan, they're
nasty, bro.
allowed to do whatever they want to do in terms of if they want to boo or cheer.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you go boo at home.
when you go to a sporting event, do you boo or cheer?
I don't boo, but yeah, I cheer.
You've never booed someone in your life.
I don't boo, I cheer.
You've never booed somebody in your life.
Not at a sporting event, not at a fighting event, especially. Fighting is a completely different sport than any other sport out there. So you
Well, I mean,
shouldn't boo a fighter.
you're gonna have a fighter that you would want to win rather than the other, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But you don't. I
Yeah.
don't
So
boo.
if the
I
other
mean,
fighter wins, you would be like, "Boo! Like, you won, boo!" No.
no, 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 not at all. No,
Well, that's
bro.
good for
Fighting is
you.
different. Fighting is different. It's so tough.
It's in a
Ninety
league of
nine
its
percent
own.
of
I
the people.
know. Not everyone
Yeah,
can do
like
it for sure. Yeah.
I would say, like more than 99%. 99.9% of the people would never know the feeling of fighting, physically fighting by yourself with someone else trapped in a cage in front of millions of people. So for me to even think about booing someone for having the balls to step in that cage, I just I just don't have it in me to do that. Just can't do it. I respect him. I respect him enough to for stepping in that cage because that's a tough thing to do, man. That is I can't imagine the commitment to get that far. Because fighting sucks, bro. Like it sucks. Like these guys like, oh, I love it. Embrace the pain. That's just a coping mechanism, just to get the adrenaline rush and cope with the pain because the pain sucks. So to be a fighter, to go through all that pain and suffering for who knows how long, could be 10 seconds, could be 10 minutes or whatever.
I mean,
I
I don't
just
know, dude.
I can't.
There was some fighters that took to their own Twitter accounts and said that Aspinall ducked and dodged. That he found
Who
a way out and took it. I'm
who?
just saying. I'm just saying. I saw some fighters across MMA that were all saying some stuff like that. Quotes were coming across the internet. Some of them were saying it.
Yeah, so of them. John Jones, of course, because that's his biggest enemy. And then you had Chael Sonnen
Wow.
and Anthony Smith on the analyst table
Go ahead,
acting like they're
Cisco.
fucking
Hey, let
they're
Cisco in
they're
here.
No,
Let
anything.
I
Cisco
was
in here.
no, I was gonna say that's who I saw. Chelsea and Smith.
Yeah, they had like the dumbest comments ever. Sonnen is like, we don't give up in those spots or something like that. Dude's been finished in all three of his championship fights. Calls himself undefeated. He's lost like 12 times. So I mean, you can't listen to anything Chael Sonnen says. And then you have Anthony Smith, who's known for giving up in fights. Not giving up necessarily. He gets his ass beat, but he's never made it. So you don't know what it's like to fight for a champion. That's a championship that's not that's yours. So I mean,
Yeah, but you gotta
these
respect them though for fighting. You gotta
yeah,
respect
you
them.
got to respect them. Absolutely.
Yeah, because 99.9% of the people will never know what that feeling is like, and he's one of them that
I don't know
knows what
what
it's like.
I I don't know what point you're trying to prove by saying that, but okay.
Well, I mean, you're just bashing him, saying that
Uh,
he basically stands no purpose to say anything because he gets his
sounds
ass kicked.
Well,
But
because
it sounds like you're
saying
he's
that
trying
booing
to
him.
compare himself.
you gotta
They're
respect him
trying to
though.
compare themselves
You
to
gotta
Tom
respect his
Aspinall, and they've
take
never been in
because
Tom.
he's been in
They've
that
never
cage
been in
before.
Tom Aspinall's shoes.
You
They're
gotta
trying to
respect his
compare
It
take
themselves
sounds
to
like
because
you're
he's
Tom
been in
booing him.
that
Aspinall, and
cage
they've
before. Yeah, you're
they've
booing.
they've never been in Tom Aspinall's shoes.
You're booing right now.
they're trying to say what we would do, what we did in his situation. It's like you never been in his situation, so you didn't do that in his situation because you were never there in the first place. That's what I'm saying. You can't. It's like you can't say what you would do if you never done it before. Like
Hey, but
you,
answer me this though. Answer me this. How do you get poked worse in the left eye but grab your right eye instead, dog?
dude. Like I've been telling y'all. Imagine you have a 265-pound guy going to claw your face to prevent you from hitting him. It probably didn't poke the eye, but the amount of pressure that finger went in and hit his eye, that alone, bro, come on. You're gonna get your finger and put it right in between your eye and your eye socket, and see how hard you can push before you feel stupid. Like, come on now.
Well, I mean,
Well, that's what we're saying. The other eye was worse.
inflicting self pain's different. Inflicting self pain's
Hmm?
different.
Pain's pain, bro.
I get that pain is pain,
You can
but
never hurt. You can never hurt yourself more than someone will hurt you though, unless you're psycho or suicidal.
I mean, I'm just saying though, it's way different when you're inflicting that pain on yourself than when it's happening unexpectedly.
Pain's pain. But I don't know. I'm just saying, you shove a finger in an eyeball from a 265-pound fucking man made of muscle, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And it's
Hey,
different if it was it's different if it was a punch. If it was a punch, it's fair game.
hey,
But since it's not a punch,
I just
it's a
wanted to know
poke.
your opinion about how you felt about it all. You don't have to get mad at us,
Um,
baby. We're your friends.
who's
This is a
getting mad? I'm telling you how.
this is a safe space. You're getting pretty hot right now, dude. And you've been doing a lot of
Because
booing.
you asked me how I felt. You asked me how I
You've been
felt.
You've
You
been
want me to
doing.
be monotone like you or what?
no, but you were
Oh
getting
man, these
getting upset
guys.
at us here.
Hey, imagine getting poked by a 265-pound pure guy made of muscle, bro. Like, dude, that shit's gonna hurt, bro. Like, I don't care who you are. Like imagine, dude. Just imagine. This is how you want me to be.
It's pretty good acting right there.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was really good. That was
I learned
Oscar
from Tom
Give this
awarding.
guy
Aspinall.
an Oscar.
That was
Give this guy an
Oscar
Oscar.
awarding performance. Yeah.
I'm
Uh,
just saying that fucking hurt. If it was a punch, it would have been a different story because it's fair game. But it wasn't a punch.
but
It
and
was an
I
eye
mean,
poke,
and
which is
then
illegal.
how,
So why should
how
you put yourself in a situation that shouldn't have happened in the first place? Now he has the advantage.
and then
John has the advantage due to
well, so how
even more advantage due to an illegal blow.
and then so how do you also explain? So there's two things too. I just want to get your side. One, the doctor said he can continue in the ring.
Yeah.
He's fine,
He-
but he wanted to show the ref like he just held the towel there. I can't see. That's what he said. Right? I can't fucking see. Secondly, when he leaves the ring, he doesn't have the cloth on there anymore, and he realizes it, and he has his eyes open, and he puts the cloth right back on his eye as he's leaving the ring. So I just want to know your side on that.
Well, the ref, when it comes to like an eye injury, the ref will only say
no,
you
the
can't fight
doctor.
unless it's there. Yeah, I'm
The
sorry. The doctor will
doctor.
only say you can't fight. The doctor will only say you can't fight unless there's like obvious scarring or you're bleeding from your eye or something. Then they're gonna be like, oh, obviously he can't continue. But it's hard to judge because you cannot see from your eye and it will look perfectly. I mean, not perfectly fine. It's gonna be red, but there doesn't have to be really any visual damage other than redness to affect your eyesight. So we don't know. Only Tom knows
Oh, of course.
what he was seeing in that situation.
Yeah.
So for
I
the
mean,
doctor
only he
for us to
knows, but
completely, for us to 100% rely on what the doctor said, like we don't know because the doctor only can look at the eye and be like, it's red, he should be fine. In all reality, Tom can't see, so it's like, mm. And I don't know, I didn't see the video of him walking out, so I can't really tell you that.
yeah, I can't comment or speculate. So I wasn't him. I wasn't there. So I can't comment or speculate. No, it's fine, dude. I mean, listen.
I
It don't
I don't know
it
how
don't
y'all
matter
can
to
say
me.
it wouldn't hurt. That's I don't see
Who
how
said
y'all
it?
can sit there and be like, how are you gonna
But
expect? How are you gonna like
who said it didn't hurt?
how,
Yeah, no one said it doesn't hurt.
No one said it doesn't hurt.
yeah, it has to hurt for it to not to be working. You think like it tickled, like
So do blind people hurt?
that's different. They're born blind.
They can't see though. You don't have to be
That's
born
Oh,
different.
see,
blind.
that was different.
You can go blind. So do
They're
their
born
eyes hurt?
blind. They weren't hit blind. They weren't hit
Some
blind.
some people go blind after
Yeah,
birth.
'cause some people go blind.
They weren't hit blind. If they got hit and then they went blind, I would say like, yeah, that sucks. Like Michael Bisping, he got
But
kicked
what
in the
I'm
side of his head and lost his left eye.
okay,
So I mean that I would say that hurts.
but I'm saying, so does a blind person's eyes hurt them because they can't see? Okay, but that's my
No.
point. Nobody said anything about hurting. We never said that it shouldn't have hurt him.
So then what are you saying?
We were
That,
questioning the validity of him not being able to see. That's what we're questioning, which is a fair statement to
but,
ask.
but, and I
No, that's
mean,
not what
not
you're
only that, the
questioning.
left eye being worse than the right eye, the one he was
And
favoring.
and video replay shows that yes, his left eye knuckle deep. I completely agree. His right eye was honestly like it was barely touched, and you saw it too because you even did it your own self. It wasn't over over his whole eye. It didn't go in all the way through the knuckle, but yet he's favoring that eye over.
The
So
other eye
again,
was worse. Yeah.
But it
it's a
was still
fair
blunt trauma.
it's a fair question to ask. At the end of the day, it's a
Yeah,
fair
That's not what
question
y'all are
to
telling
ask.
me off camera. You're calling him like a pussy and everything and saying all this other stuff. So that's why I was like, bro, you can't say that.
Oh, that's just to get you
You
worked up,
can't,
dog. We knew that
'cause
you would
that
get worked
hurts.
up though. We knew you get worked up over it though. We're just rage baiting
Nah,
you, and it worked.
I knew y'all were. No, I wasn't
but
mad. There's
but
there's
all
plenty of
jokes
things I wanted to
aside,
say. I was like, nah.
but all jokes aside, it's a fair question to ask at the end of the day. And that's it. Because at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's just a question, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
And we question the validity of it because we have seen other fighters get poked in the eye before and continue on with the fight. But there
Yeah,
seems to
different
be more
states. So
there seems to be more people making excuses for Aspinall in that regard. There's more people making excuses trying to agree with him on that on his side rather than just kind of taking in the question for what it is, which is just a question, and just leaving it out there.
because
Oh
it's a
no, well, it's a
foul.
200. It's a 200. Of course it's a foul. No one's disagreeing that it's a foul.
And he was
You
palming at
get
his
you get
face the entire time. He was already
I
warned
mean, how
to
else do
close his
you
hand.
how else do you poke a guy? You don't poke him with a closed fist. Of
Yeah,
course, we
yeah,
know that his
exactly,
fingers are.
exactly. So
Every
that's what they
fighter
tell him,
fights with an open palm. Every
huh?
fighter
Not every
fights with
fighter.
open palms. Okay, the majority of them do. Okay, I don't have to. I'm sorry that we have to be literal with you
And they
in
tell him,
with the UFC, but every
they
fighter I
tell him,
see them and their hands are open like this, and then it's only up until they go for the punch that then they close it. So
yeah,
they
a
put themselves
punch.
at risk.
Keyword,
They put themselves
a
at risk
punch.
from the jump from the jump because they fight like this.
It's the reaching. It's the reaching when you're trying to block a shot or move out of the way. It's when they come out with the claw, and you're not allowed to do that. That's illegal to have your hands out like that. You can't have your fingers out and extended. There's a difference between having your hands out and extended and having your hands open and then throwing a punch. This is illegal. This is fine. This is illegal.
Right.
Anytime once you extend your hands like this, that's illegal. And he was warned about it because there was a time like 3 minutes into the fight where when Aspinall went for the takedown, he straight up clawed his face, put his hand in his face, and pushed his face off, and that's how he stuffed the takedown. And like I said before, like Gon has been a dirty fighter in the past. If you go watch a lot of his fights, he's always poking eyes, kicking balls, hitting in the back of the head. So it should have been a thing like they've prepared for. Every fighter gets told before the fight starts, these are the rules, just like boxing, XYZ. So the fact that, I mean, yeah, Tom was losing. And I'm sure he took that into consideration as well. But wouldn't like why is he wrong for taking that into consideration? I'm already losing to this guy. I need everything I can going into this next round so I can come back and go on top. Fuck, now he poked me in the eye. Like what are his chances now of being able to do that comeback? Like he was already down before, now he's poked in the eye. So he says he's blind out of one eye and blurry out of the other eye. I mean, it was already not a fair fight before on the skill level. Now he's blind because of his opponent's foul.
Well, what do you mean by it
So that's
wasn't?
why
What do you wait, pause. What do you mean by it wasn't a fair fight from the jump?
because Gon had the better skill during the fight. So it was already becoming a Gon fight. So it wasn't the even fight that it started off as. At that
Oh,
point,
you said before the fight.
no. I said it wasn't a fair fight at the already, like at that point. Now that
I see
his
what you're
eyes are
saying.
poked is even more, it's like even more unfair. Like
Well,
at the
maybe
point
that's not
of
the right
before it like
word
right
to
before it happened.
say. Maybe fair isn't the right word to say.
It wasn't as competitive as we expected it to be up until the eye poke came. So
Yeah, well, Gon definitely was
Wasn't
looking
evenly
good in
matched.
terms of his striking. Gon was
yeah.
looking good in terms of his striking. I mean, honestly though, like I could see
And
because I've rewatched the fight. I don't know how many times already at this point, and you saw flashes of Aspinall. Like, I mean, you could tell that something big was going to go down. I mean, it may have not happened that first round, but something big was going to happen. He was going to land a massive shot, and the question was, is Gon going to be able to just sit there and eat it? Because he
yeah,
tried multiple
Well,
times going in, and even right before the
he
whole eye
caught
poke
him.
thing, he tried doing the whole
He
spinning
caught him
thing,
with the
and
right.
you could tell that Gon is like he's respecting his game, like he's flinching, he's backing up, like there was a lot of respect for one another within that match. It's just that Gon in that first round, man, was just catching him wide open on those straights and jabs, you know,
Yeah, he
blooded
landed
up his
like
nose.
I was gonna ask too.
five clean jabs, just perfect.
Yeah.
Did 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 Aspinall end up having his nose broke?
No, just a bloody nose.
That we know that the
Yeah,
doctor
some
I
people,
was
reported.
about to say.
some people bleed whenever whenever they get hit in the nose.
He's all, hey doc, I know my nose got broke. Leave that off the paperwork. Leave that off the paperwork.
Right.
just make it all about my eye. Just make it all about my eye.
Well, so there's a video going around
He's
where
like, I can't have
when he
these
went to the
motherfuckers talking
hospital
shit.
after the UFC. Have y'all seen it?
Uh
Where he has like
So
a
he
big
went to the
old patch.
hospital and
I mean, I saw where he has the eye patch.
well, no. So he went to the hospital back in where were they in Saudi or in
Abu
UAE,
Dhabi.
somewhere in the UAE. Abu Dhabi. So he went to the hospital, and the doctor was like, um, "We can't see this or see this. If you can't see, then I recommend you coming back Tuesday so we can do further testing. If you can't come back, then I recommend you seeing someone where you're from as soon as you get back." And then they were like, "So I'm not." He like they're like he's not crazy for calling the fight, right? Like there's some damage there. And the doctor kind of like laughs and he was like, like, yeah, good job of stopping the fight.
Almost kind of hinting that there wasn't damage to the eye.
Like, so like that's what everyone's saying. Like, oh, the doctor knew nothing was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, from a regular fans and I don't think people, when you say that you don't like the whole booing side of the fans, people aren't booing the they're not booing the fighter per se, right? They're booing the situation because you paid thousands and thousands of dollars to be there to watch two people fight, and these two particular people fight, right? Sure, you have the prelims, and sure you have the co-main event, and you have the other fights leading up to the co-main and the main event. But everybody knows when you go to a fight, you go for the main event. 99% of the time, you're going because of the main event fight. And when it ends in a no contest, and you only got to see 4 minutes of it, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
So I can agree with fans booing
That's
in that situation.
hey, longer than some Mike Tyson wins.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, Mike Tyson's ended matches in 28 seconds, bro. But at the end of the day,
But
people accept that
see,
fate
but the
because they got a result.
right,
There was a
Yeah.
right.
result.
That's what they went to go see. Like they expected that to happen.
Yeah, just like what did they say that Aspinall's average fight time is like 2.5 minutes? It's like the lowest fight
It's
time
less,
of any
yeah,
fighter.
in UFC history.
Yeah. So I mean, people
So
were
he went
going in
over
there
his
to
two and a half
expect
minute
him.
mark.
People were expecting him to not gone out by all means, and the fact that they didn't get to see it, I mean, that's what they're. I mean, I don't have a problem with them booing, because again, I know that they're booing at the situation. Everyone's pissed because it's like, bro, like we waited all this time for fucking this shit to happen. Like this sucks. Hell yeah. Now I can respect your take about the fans booing because like how we talked about when like there's just the grappling thing where people just take them down and they don't actually do anything and they'll just sit there and hold them. Like, yeah, that
Did y'all
part,
catch
like
the whole card?
I saw the Mackenzie Dern fight.
No.
So they're actually starting to punish people for that, for the grappling, for
Oh,
that boring
oh,
style of grappling.
yes, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I did watch. There was another fight before that, right?
The Jalton Almeida versus Alexander Volkov,
Yes, where he was taking him
the
down,
tall white
wasn't
dude,
doing
and the
anything. Yes,
yep, and he lost.
and he lost.
He had over 10 minutes of control time in a 15-minute fight, and he lost.
Dang.
It was great.
But
Make UFC great again.
DC mentioned that he doesn't know if that's because of these particular judges that were scoring it that way, or if that's just how it's going to be here in the near future. But based on because it was the same thing for the Mackenzie Dern fight. What was the other fighter's name? The other lady?
Vidiana or something like that.
Something. Anyways, she was taking Mackenzie down, but Mackenzie was the aggressor
Yeah, and
whenever they
Redova.
would fall to the floor. And so DC, you hear him in the commentating telling like, hey, like she's got to be active on here, because based on these fights that we've seen today, the judges ain't going to help you out none just for getting a takedown. Like you have to be active while you're down on the ground. And the only person who's active right now
Yeah.
on the ground is Mackenzie. But dude, the Dana's post game press, the post fight conference or whatever, they're the main guy that always interviews him on questions. He's like, "So what was your take on the McKinsey fight?" And he goes, "Oh my god," he goes, "Those two girls beat the shit out of each other." I was just dying, bro. Just like his facial expressions, his reaction, bro. He's just like, "Oh, they beat the shit out of each other." It was a good fight.
Man, I'm so upset. I didn't get to watch a lot. I didn't get to watch that one. I was busy at work.
It was good.
I
Good
caught the
little.
Volkov fight. That Hook Fest. That was it.
Yeah. Well, anyways, boys. Well, all's well that ends well, man.
Well, you have that pick, Steve, or nah?
What pick?
Oh, the eye.
The one I sent you.
Oh, yeah. Here, let me. Uh,
Because we just want
this
to show
is
chat pretty
this
much
is
the
nah,
fight.
bro. You want to show Loop too? That's what you're trying to do. You definitely want to show Loop for sure.
I'm curious.
Uh, this was Aspinall, dog. God damn. That boy was flopping like
Oh
LeBron, dude.
man.
That boy was flopping, son.
That's
Oh
because I really
man.
don't even care for Aspinall. That's what's crazy. I knew he's
That's funny,
Dookie.
man.
He
Hey,
ain't
but
Dookie, but
so do you think the Jones and Pereira fight's gonna go on at the White House or what?
yeah, I don't know anything about this White House fights, bro. I still don't believe it's gonna happen until it
Or even if it
happens.
doesn't, the White House. Or I mean, even if the White House don't happen, you still think they both fight?
Yeah, they both agreed on it already, so I would think so. It's the fight to make. But I think that UFC is definitely gonna wait for the Paramount deal to kick in, so they ain't gonna make it for this year. But I think they're planning like July. That's just a
Oh, for
long
sure.
time. That's just a long time,
Oh,
dude.
I mean because how long is typically a training camp? Like 12 weeks or something?
6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks.
Six. I mean, I guess it gives Jones time to get back in shape. I guess,
Yeah,
but that fight there would
yeah,
be that's a huge fight.
yeah.
It's a huge fight
It's a
right there.
huge fight. But I think it's gonna be so boring.
Do you think so?
I think John Jones, fucking John Jones, him. Fucking, he just grabs his legs,
Well,
drags him down, and just elbows the fuck out of him.
hey,
That's what he
he's
likes to do.
that ground game he has is.
Yeah, John Jones by Maul. Because like, as, you got to think like, as great of as a fighter Pereira is, he still has to respect John Jones's kickboxing because John Jones probably has
Yeah,
like 7 inches on him as far as reach still. So you walk in, at any time you can catch something. So everyone's always going to be a little hesitant to come in on John. So I don't think his wrestling game's evolved enough. I think John can take him down whenever he wants, and he will, and he'll do whatever he wants on the ground with him.
yeah.
I think that's why Dana doesn't want it to happen.
Man, that guy's the goat, man.
I
That guy's a goat,
no,
man.
yeah, without a doubt, bro. Without a doubt. Without a
I don't know how
doubt.
people
Greatest
say
of all time.
that he's not.
Well, because they say the
I don't get
PED,
how people say he's not. That's
his
crazy.
PED, it's because they blame all the PED uses and
I
shit,
don't give a
and then they try
fuck.
to say he didn't. Exactly right. They were all on PED at the time. They were all on drugs.
Dude. Well, dude, a
Everyone
prime
he fought was
example.
on
A
drugs.
prime example. Belfort. Prime example. Look at him
Well,
now.
so the backlash he gets from that though is before that fight, Vito Belfort was fighting at 185 pounds. So everyone's like, "Oh, he fought a fat middleweight."
Dude,
Like people find a way to
Victor Belfort,
just
that boy's
deglorify
huge.
everything. Yeah, yeah, they're just like, "Oh no, he's
That
just a
boy's like
middleweight.
pure
He's a
muscle.
small." Yeah, well, that dude had fucking amount of
That
TRT it
boy's pure
takes to
muscle.
fucking fuel an army. His muscles
Yeah.
had muscles. He's the one who fucking
Yeah.
blinded Michael Bisbee by kicking him in the head. Made him lose an eye.
That's crazy. But yeah, I just don't get how people say that. Some people say that Jones ain't the GOAT and all that. That boy been
Yeah,
dominating
it's
ever since
absurd.
I watched UFC.
Now here's a guy that
It's always
does
been John
ball.
Jones. Yeah, now here's a guy, you put him in an octagon, he's going to get the better of you at just about everything.
No one does it better than Patrick Mahomes.
I was gonna say, you see how he throws his left hook? It's kind of like Patrick Mahomes, the way he
Yeah,
just slings his arm
Patrick Mahomes
sideways.
does the exact same thing.
All right, boys.
And that's exactly what makes him the great athlete he is.
Time to kill it, man. Time to kill it. We've beat it up pretty good. So appreciate you guys. Y'all's takes were great. And your insight is invaluable. Is that even the right word? It was
Chat.
great.
Hey, chat, don't boo. Don't
Yeah,
boo
chat.
at fighting events, okay, chat?
Don't boo at fighting events. We learned about that. That's terrible for you to do. It's terrible for you to boo anything at this point. Be safe out there. Okay. Make sure you use your turning signal when you're changing lanes. Don't be that guy.
Yes.
Overrated.
And Canes is overrated.
Yes.
Nah, you were on my side with that one. You can't switch up.
No, I know. I'm saying that for Steve and the chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, y'all have a good night. Chat, y'all have a good night. God bless y'all. And please like and subscribe for more. We'll see y'all. Peace.
Thank y'all guys. Later.